Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Computers 1 replay. It's on the south side as the Panzer Elite player, we have DexN. On the north side as the US player, we have Nicko.
Ready for mission orders.
Let's see, going for Panzer Grenadier. This map is pretty large, so second Kaliningrad wouldn't be half bad, but it's placed against US, not Brits. Second Panzer Grenadier on the build queue as a barracks is being deployed out. Third engineer being deployed out as well. Fuel point course being captured up by the Kaliningrad. US players going for dual munitions points. Maybe eyeing for some flamers.
Was gibt es?
Panzer Grenadier is going aggressive. The person saying,
Our unit has been upgraded.
I'm not exactly sure what this all means. Okay. It's probably something related to the Ukraine war, I'm guessing. Though I'm not familiar with the political situation of Georgia, so maybe I'm very mistaken. G43 squad here, two Panzer Grenadiers are pushing their way forward, trying to secure this munitions point and going for the cutoff point in general. Let's hop inside this garrison. There's a lot of windows of this garrison, and even at close range, the engineers can do decently well. There's only one window on the side, and he does back off to the light cover here. He perhaps could circle around to the heavy cover as well. But you got the rifleman now advancing. He could push forward to the heavy cover himself. A lot of heavy cover with these jeeps. Well, the actually open blitz in this game are light cover, not heavy cover. Computers too, they're heavy cover. Down south, we do got the munitions point being captured up, but will be out of supply. Riflemen being focused down, going both of them circling around to heavy cover. Very nice. Backs away from the engineer because taking it on is not going to be super great. Actually, did he get a squad wipe on the engineer? He actually got a squad wipe on the engineer. That was a big oversight. Jeep has been deployed on out. Losing an engineer like that very early on is not exactly great because that's a capping pressure. Three Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward, trying to eye for this cutoff point. And he will get the cutoff point. The Jeep is not exactly a high damage unit. Let's keep start decapturing the cutoff point now. Engineers continue capturing the point. Rifleman squad needs a little bit outnumbered. He needs a second rifleman squad, which is coming out relatively soon. Engineers trying to find a good angle there on the Panzer Grenadiers, both of them behind light cover. We do have the riflemen inside this garrison. Doesn't sound like a whole lot of windows. Just the one window is not a good garrison. Only thing that can be useful in that garrison is probably MG42. Or 30 cal. Any MG. Second rifleman squad's pushing on forward. This one needs to get out of the garrison into the heavy cover. This rifleman's charging on forward. We should two behind heavy cover as well. And the Jeep will start making his way forward to support out. So there's only one window on the side, so that's potentially useful to know. I guess it's the ground floor, even though it looks like a bunch of possible there, there's no platform for them. Panzer Grenadier does back away from the Jeep. Over here, we do got the Panzer Grenadiers engaged in the engineers, who've been doing a good job capturing all the points.
Defensive operations have been upgraded.
Defensive operations, so he does have base healing. There's currently 5 Panzer Grenadiers, pretty standard. And over here, we got the riflemen engaging the Panzer Grenadiers.
The Americans are capturing a sector.
Jeep has received quite a bit of fire there, but should be back away before any engine damage. And we do also have the engineers up here. They probably need to fall back in order to get to the Jeep. But we do actually have another squad of engineers here for repairs. Over here, we've got the two G43 squads making their advance. There are currently, these are the only two.
Ready for orders!
And now the garrison is receiving a bit of fire there. That is a flamer engineer as well. Engineers do receive quite a bit of fire there, losing two of the models as the Jeep starts making its way forward. The engineer is getting some great damage there, trying to save it with the Jeep. Both Panzer Grenadier squads are falling back. This rifleman is on the retreat path, so potentially able to get a wipe on one of the Panzer Grenadiers. The one-man squad will manage to fall back in time. The two-man squad will keep its both its member. The Kettengrad may get gunned down. There's a lot of forces here. Doesn't get engine crits. He does get slowed down there a little bit, but the base healing should keep them alive. The flak Irving is firing, rolls some misses and bounces, and the Kettengrad will stay alive. Panzer Air Command deploying out a 222. Camp Groover Company has been deployed. And G43 squad is currently engaged with riflemen. Two windows on the side, so it's not a great garrison as this rifleman's coming forward, eyeing for some heavy cover.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory cut off from supply.
G43 squads making their advance, getting some great damage there onto the rifleman. Over here, the Jeep is starting to make its advance. Third G43 squad has been deployed. And the Jeep is receiving quite a bit of fire from the Panzer Grenadiers. On the right side, we've got these riflemen start engaging, getting some damage there onto the Kettengrad. And we do have a 222 now out on the field.
The enemy is seizing
Engineers are falling back, so are the riflemen. Over here, we do have the Kettengrad receiving some flamer bursts from a single engineer. And there's a rifleman inside this garrison here. They will fall back, getting overwhelmed by these forces. And the 222 has pushed pretty far forward. Rifleman squad does get wiped out. Motor pool is beyond the build queue, perhaps eyeing for an AT gun and or Greyhound. Or half track is also a possibility versus the 222.
Go ahead.
Engineer will fall back, but may get wiped out by the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Support Command has been deployed on out. He may be going straight for Panthers. Light ATF track, that's probably... He's probably getting ready for a Greyhound counter. Panzer Grenadiers start making their advance. Perhaps eyeing to engage these riflemen. Jeep is making its way forward as well.
The location is secured. Victory point captured. Objective under our control. Ready to move on.
Fuel point being decaptured, so is the command point. And the Jeep is receiving some autocannon fired, but they didn't actually receive a whole lot of damage. The Jeep has seemed like it's been quite bulletproof. At least when fighting against flak Irvings and other autocannons. Riflemen are behind heavy cover there, should be able to duel out for quite some time. We'll need a bit of support here. Riflemen here behind heavy cover as well. So the Riflemen are in good positions. A lot of cover here. On the left side, of course, got the Flame Engineers could potentially rush forward. And we got Minesweepers capturing up the munition fuel point. The fact he's got a Minesweeper, he may have an inkling that perhaps he's going to be fighting against a Tank Hunter. Panzer Grenadiers do fall back. Got the autocannons now skirmishing around. Flame Engineers do force the units outside the garrison as the Riflemen can now advance forward. They're a little bit wounded, but nothing too crazy. Kenigrad and Panzer Grenadiers capture the right side of the map. The US player will be able to capture the center now.
Vehicle made ready for action. Infantry contact!
Light TF track has been pulled on out, ready to engage the Greyhound, fully upgraded. The Greyhound does get a hit there onto the 222.
We have secured the target.
Accuracy armored car is going for something a bit more lethal than defense. We got all the G43 squads advancing to the southern flank. The other two are currently unupgraded, maybe saving them for, say, Panzer Shreks. Jeep does receive some hits there from the light TF track. The Riflemen may have the sticky bomb available, but the autocannons getting some great hits in there. Mortar half track has deployed out as well. He's starting to focus down the mortar half track. Greyhound does find an angle there onto the Panzer Grenadiers. Rifleman squads do fall back, trying to avoid the cannon fire of the armored car.
Excellent offensive men. Our skills are improving. Panzer Grenadiers, ready for orders.
Gained some accuracy, got a good hit there onto the engineers. The Jeep, however, is good enough for fully repaired. Just a couple scratches they haven't yet to fit out. But now there's a big hole. Another big hole. He did a crit shot there on the Jeep? He really wants that Jeep dead. STG squad and regular car 98 quickly takes out that Jeep, no problem.
Steady up, ready to go. Good as new. The enemy is seizing our territory.
Landmine being deployed on out. We got the Panzer Grenadiers making their way forward. Only one of them has efficiency, and that's a drop down Panzer Grenadier model that's just expired. Riflemen here, a large number of riflemen. Does have the bar rifleman upgrade now. And now we do have Hetzers now available, so he does that. US Minesweeper can be useful.
Repeating commands.
Mortars are raining on in,
After the enemy is impacting. Comfortable
and that
infantry points.
engineer does fall back. Way too much fire there. 52s make their way forward. We
Supply lines
do
are
not
broken.
have
We
sticky
territory
bomb research
south of
apparently,
the
but we do have, of course, the Barsky on the rear armor can do quite a bit of damage. There's a landmine deployed right there. A teller mine from the Panzer Elite player, which could be very, very deadly.
Hetzer tank destroyer have arrived.
One Hetzer has been deployed out there, damaging down the 222, and now we're seeing a lot of bar fire there, so the 222 will go down. Light half track trying to engage these
Has been destroyed.
flamer engineers. And looks like I got a bit of spam messages
Our supply lines are
on my
broken.
YouTube channel, but luckily the spam filter prevented that. Very good. G43s, STGs, all bunch of right here. The bars are behind heavy cover, so that's a good position there for the Rifleman. This Rifleman's behind heavy cover as well, so overall better position by the Rifleman. Flamer managed to push his way forward, getting some good bursts in.
We are losing ground.
And there is actually a forward HQ here for healing for these Panzer Grenadiers. This is going to be very, very important. It'll be a hard point to displace. We got the Hetzler now pushes his way forward. Very forward. And trying to engage with glorious melee.
Territory from us.
He says, I wish I was in Dawn of War 2. Or Dawn of War 1. Engineer squad is falling on back. Looks like he did manage to crush one of those engineer models underneath his tread, showing how to fight in melee. And the Ketagrad managed to barely avoid death once again. Light half-track and mortar half-track is engaging some stuff over here, as the Hetzler's crushing some heavy terrain there, getting slowed down a bit.
Awaiting orders. Ready to move. Return fire.
Rifleman squad will fall back in time, as there's an AT gun set up along the flank. Ketagrad does receive quite a bit of fire there, literally.
We have destroyed an enemy unit.
And looks like the engineer squad does fully go down there.
Victory point is ours.
You have all these rifleman squads being reinforced, repaired, and healed up. Greyhound is fully healed. Hetzer
Ready. Munitions point secure.
can engage the Greyhound, no problem. Mortar half-track lets us try to engage the AT gun. And he rolls a miss right there.
Your orders, sir.
Now the Hetzler has been deployed.
Sir, tank upgraded, sir.
And over here, G43 start engaging the rifleman at long range. So light cover there for both sides. And the light half-track is putting some rounds into the cover itself, so eventually we'll start clearing it out. Thank you for the follow in streamer 1964. Riflemen do not manage to get very far forward, couldn't decapture the HQ or even touch it. Panzer Grenadiers are falling back to the forward reinforcements of the HQ, but getting knocked forward by the Hetzers, which is not exactly good because he needs to avoid some fire to get healing and reinforcements. Pair of sticky bombs onto the light half-track is likely to go down. Yeah, gets dead and immobilized. So it's probably got its neck snapped. SCG squad starts to make its way forward as G43 squads could advance and help pursue this area. Great mortar hit down the retreating, leaving the riflemen down to minimal models.
The enemy has 300 points.
All 5 Panzer Grenadiers are still alive. The 2 ATSers and the mortar half-track are still alive as well. Only thing lost was the light AT half-track. Greyhound getting repaired up. The AT guns could start pushing along the flanks. That mortar half-track's probably his biggest problem, along with the Panzer Grenadiers themselves. So we got some mortar hits into this region. It looks like just a mortar barrage.
Grenadiers ready. Squad.
Splitting up his Panzer Grenadiers, he's just maintaining a forward position. He has all 3 VPs, so he's counting down the tickets to his opponent quite quickly. STG's going to just maintain behind heavy cover. Looks like the squad is set up between STGs on the left, G43s on the right, and the STGs have gone for accuracy as well. Looks like the mortar gets a decent hit there, suppressing the riflemen. Panzer Grenadiers are receiving a bit of healing there as well, trying to repair the AT Hetzler in combat, as the M8 is receiving fire from the other Hetzer. Riflemen start making an advance. Maybe they're trying to decapture the building, but he does hop inside the building itself. 2 grenades were actually thrown, those sticky bombs. Does cripple the mortar half-track. Sort of a minor issue at this point in time. Is trying to repair the mortar half-track. It could be left damage for the time being. He start hitting these riflemen with the SCGs. Mortar half track does claim one of the AT guns, as the other one will be falling back. Over here, we've got the riflemen decapturing the VP and the munitions point there. On the right flank, we do have a fresh armored car protecting the flanks along with the Kettengrad. Going for takeout as well, the Kettengrad, of course, does have the repair ability, so if the Kettengrad can avoid fire, the G2 can stay there for quite some time. It does use suppressive fire ability there with the G43s. With the STGs on a retreat path as well, he could receive a lot of fire.
The enemy is weakening.
And does drop both of the G43s, which or bars, can pick them up. They really hate each other, guess. Not so sure the beef between these two players, but I don't. This may be a grudge map of some sort.
The location is secure. Victory point captured.
Speaking of which, what doctrine has the US player selected? I don't think it's what swapped over him. Just that he has gone for armor. He needs a Calliope. A Calliope can quickly destroy this garrison, allow him to get more breathing room. He's going for a tank depot now. He needs
200 points.
Some M10s, if not some Hellcats. He doesn't have a whole lot of fuel at the moment, so one of the few times where you just simply don't have enough fuel at this point in the game. Kettengrad does receive quite a bit of fire there.
Enemy unit down.
And does go down. No 2-2 in this region to protect that point. 2-2 is fully healed.
Alright, now we can call in the heavy tanks.
Yeah, they really don't like each other.
Tally-ho, we're good to go.
Engineers falling.
Engineers making their advance. Maybe trying to do a bit of a scouting run. Mortars getting some hits there onto the AT gun. And we've got the STG squads engaging in heavy cover. One Hellcat has been deployed on out. He does not have enough for another. What do you need? 50 fuel in total? Greyhounds push his way forward. And the riflemen trying to capture that fuel point. They do need to get those fuel points captured. Light half track does get a mobilizing crit there onto the Greyhound. Rifleman going for a sticky bomb. It does get a sticky bomb off, but likely won't get the wipe there. Riflemen do take a bad path there. Engine damage. Hellcat charge on forward. There is, of course, this Tellermine here, which can be very deadly. Light half track. Oh. Oh! It's not a good thing you lost that Hellcat like that. Global field repairs has just been activated, but it's dead. I'm not sure why I used the field repairs right there. That was meant for the Greyhound. Going for another sticky bomb there. 2-2 will go down. We do have the Hetzers now advancing. Armored car does go down. And Hetzers are getting some great hits there onto the Rifleman. AT gun does find a rear arm hit onto the AT Hetzer. And get another hit there as well. Engineer squads will need to fall back. AT Hetzers are making their advance. Got a third AT Hetzer now pushes his way forward as well. He's going to need some more Hellcats, or could go for up-gun Sherman tanks at the current rate.
Put her in gear.
Rifleman trying to get inside the garrison. He may not have incendiary grenade research just yet, but there's only one window on this side. Greyhound could can push fully around these grenadiers. Does get the wipe there on the AT gun. Does get suppressive fire thanks to this MG back here. Mortars are raining on onto the structure. I probably will do a bit more Rimworld streams later, a little bit later. I'm sort of like hit or miss what things to cover on what days. I need to solidify a schedule down. You may see another sticky bomb there onto the AT Hetzer. And does get a gun damage crit there. Of course, it doesn't actually appear unless the thing gets recovered by a Bergantiga. Pershing pushes way forward. Incendiary Mortar does take out the AT gun. He got some hits there onto the Hetzer, severely wounded. Does send some bounces there. A lot of these Hetzers are quite wounded. Does throw another sticky bomb there. 4 AT Hetzers. That's truly enough to ward away the Pershing tank. There's a bit too much for the Pershing tank to fight against.
Put her in gear.
Rifleman receiving quite a bit of fire there and goes down. Does use suppressive fire ability there, suppressing the engineers as he's falling him back. The 2 bars are still dropped there, which could be picked up by the rifleman. And Pershing is making his advance. Perhaps trying to get some hits there on the infantry. 1 8 Hetzer does have plenty of health. He's skirting around. There's of course a Teller mine here, which could be deadly to the Pershing. Also deadly to nearby vehicles are sitting on top of it. Does not have enough munitions there for field craft or field repairs. And the Greyhound now makes advance. Will find the Hetzer, but it's already rotated around. And this Greyhound can distract these Hetzers. Rifleman, however, doing a good job distract the Hetzers as well. Pershing pushes his way forward. Then maybe AT grenades research, maybe not. Pershing does receive a bounce there. AT gun setting on up, firing shots into the mortar half track, which takes it out. Greyhound skirting around. Pershing still advancing. The US players down to 30 tickets, 27 tickets, not a whole lot of tickets remaining.
Down to 25 points.
And now the Hetzer does take up the Pershing there. US players down to still counting on tickets, in catching up this point all the way. He needs to get another point captured, and he's pretty far away from either of these points. All of his infantry forces are back here, and he's completely out of stuff. Takes out the engineers. Armor doctrine is probably the wrong doctrine from the select. Honestly, at this point, Airborne doesn't seem not necessarily half bad to me. Calling some airstrikes for strafe runs for the very immobile Panzer Grenadiers. I think Airborne doctrine would have been a better option than armor, or going for the Calliope rather than the Pershing. And the game does end before that rifleman gets wiped out. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.